Coming up on today's Retro Robbins show, we're going to have a look at a couple of new games from 2020, even though it's almost 2021. We're going to re-review a couple of games from 1987, yes, issue number 46 of Crash. And of course, we're going to have a couple more rounds of Commodore versus Spectrum, depending on time bearing how many rounds we get in, we'll see. So join me now on the Retro Robbins show. Welcome to the Retro Robbins show with me, Wayne. So what's on today's show? Well, if you missed a little bit of the intro, well, I'll tell you now. We're going to have a look at a couple of games from 2020 that I wanted to have a look. One's a puzzle game, and the other one's I don't know how to explain it, but it's a good game we'll have a look at. We're going to re-review two games from the number 46 issue of Crash 1987. Oh, that was hard recall on the old memory there. Feeling the effects of Christmas. Oh, yeah, I've had to do the washing up. Oh well. And of course, we're going to have some more round of Commodore versus Spectrum. So, of course, I had my first issue, and I'm sure you've all got this, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Issue number 1 of Crash, nicely situated in my binder there, which I kind of found it awkward to get these strings apart and put it in the middle, so yeah. I have now contacted, and I suggest you do too. Fusion Retro Books, of course, produced this, Chris. Brilliant little magazine. It's good to see the old days are back again with a new Crash magazine Mini. So everything's gotten smaller, records have been reduced into the size of an SD card, and now the Crash magazine's reduced in size, but hell, it's not the worst better for it, it's better actually, it's quite good, I've really enjoyed that, and looking forward to having one of them every month. So if you haven't got one yet, subscribe, join, get involved, get yourself a Crash magazine. If you're a retro fan, it's a must have. Okay then, so what's on today's show? Let me plug in my external microphone. Right. We'll have a look at you in a minute. First game I saw, and I saw it in the issue number 1 of the Crash, is Colorist on tap. This has got an AY sound, so with that I'm going to kill this sound. And as we load this game up, what is this game about? I'll tell you now, we'll have a look at it for you. Oh, quick sip to dry the throat. There's the loading screen. Straight away you can hear it's got fantastic sound. I don't know how well you can hear that. So what is this game? Well, it's a puzzle game. A bit like some of the apps you used to get on your mobile phone from Google Play, but it's basically on your computer. And you've just got to fill all those squares up with a various colour. Let me just enlarge the screen for you so as you can have a nice clear picture. If you noticed, I've changed the monitor as well. Whoops. There we go, a bit of seasonal Retro Robbins dodgy camera work. Show wouldn't be the same without it. Okay, so yeah, if you look at the actual square, and I've got a little pointing device somewhere. What do you see? Amazing, I know I am. It's good, isn't it? It compliments me every time I do a level. Amazing! Indeed I am. Right, so, pointing device. Where the green dot points there, there's a little number that's 15, which means you've got 15 squares and you've got to use all 15 of those up. So, we'll find a way to do that by, and right now we're on 3, 2, 1, 0. So you think, well, okay, these first few levels are simple enough, but don't forget this game has got 80 levels. And good AY sound to boot. And it doesn't get, the first few levels anyone's going to breeze through, but it does get quite complicated and we'll have to think. It also, which is just there, you've got a code across the bottom, so you can start from that level next time you load the game, which is going to be handy for me because obviously time is of the essence. And we'll do a few more levels and hopefully you'll get to see where we get 2 of them. There we go, you suddenly got 2. To change colours you press the number. And let's have a bit more of a play. 2. And of course if you make a mistake you can just press the undo and do it again. So you can have as many goes as you like during that day. Write down your code to where you got to, and then next time you load it, you just enter the code in. This one's a little bit more complicated, but we're going to have a go, see if we can do it. Run out of tiles there, see, so now we change to colour number 3, which is Clyde. And that is that game, which I found really fascinating. 80 odd levels. Oh. It's going to take some completing that run. You won't do that in a day, and cracking game. Nice sound, enjoyable, and a good little brain tester for you over Christmas. What do I rate that at? Well, if you haven't tried it before, Colorist, give it a go. It's a little bit of fun. It's a new game. You don't have to worry about trying to get to a certain place in the level, because just like golf, you can start from that level again. And cool. So let's move on to the next new game that I've seen that I wanted to review. This one I'm going to give it a full 9 out of 10 and worth a try. Graphically, it's all it needs to be. The colours are just what you want, and it's quite challenging. So yeah, cool. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game I wanted to try out is called Mare, M-I-R-E-M-A-R-E. These were both reviewed in the mini issue number 1 of Crash. So if you've been, I'm not going to give those the ratings away. It was done in the 1st of the 9th, 2020 by the looks of things. Does it have a voice sound? I don't think so. It's called a tribute to Ultimate. Let me just pause that. I'm a fan. I think we'll turn it down. Enough. As you can see, it's a tribute to Ultimate Play the game, and you've got the little Ultimate badge there. Don't know how I can get away with that. I thought there was a copyright on that, but never mind. Music by Richard Hollins, and graphics by, can't quite make that word out. I think it's meant to be Simon. It's too small, can't see it. Ooh. Magnify, magnify, magnify. Okay, back on. Right, let's put some sound on. And I should have really defined the keys, because now I ain't going to have a clue what the keys are. But I presume you know the cursor. It's a giant maze, basically. I like that, you can go beyond the hedges. Ah, I've got myself a weapon. The problem is with the cursors, I can never, ever use them. So you go around a fairly sizable map. And don't forget, you've only got a certain amount of that. And of course, each map tells you where the name of the location you're actually in. You're looking for keys, to be honest. You need a spell to access that. Wow, it's a good game, isn't it? I like it. Not quite the same speed as Saber Wolf, but it's got a little bit of Ultimate feel about it. And it just kind of, no, does it remind me? What does it remind me of? Oh, we can collect that for extra energy. There we go. No colour crash. See if I can find a key. Of course, when you get to the edge of a screen, it doesn't really necessarily have an indicator that you're at the edge. You just find that you can't go any further, which is all you need really, I suppose. But yeah. And I've been here before because I've opened that, so I'm back at the start effectively. Go round in circles. I've been going round in circles all my life. Oh well. See if I can find you some. Oh, trapped I am. Trapped. Which way round? Which way round? We'll get there eventually. Oh. I haven't died yet though, so I'm doing well. Famous last words. You know it's going to come and it's going to happen soon. Retro Robbins is going to bite the dust. There's a door down here somewhere. Ah, what? We've got a key? And there you go. As you can see, you can't go any further that way. So, we now have to work our way round. And of course, I've got a white key with a white door. But once you get in there, you need a spell is required to open that. What are we getting there? So, what do I think of that game? It took a lot to get into. It's very well done. It does have that ultimate play the game feel about it, with a saber wolf character sort of thing. And well, it's a knight, isn't it? It's not a knight. I can't call him a knight because he's a knight lord. It's got the same sort of sprites as they would use, and yeah, it's quite well done. One worth a try, so give it a go. I'm going to give that. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. You'll have to see what Crash has got to say about it, but yeah, hope you enjoyed. Give it a go. Let's move on to the first of today's re-reviews. So, the first game we're going to re-review today is called Action Falls by Virgin Games, retail price $7.95. And of course, he didn't actually specifically name an author, but it was called Gang of Fire. So I presume that was a few coders together, all collaborating and helping each other out, of course. So what did this make of it? What did Crash make of it? Well, they said presentation was 48%, graphics was 28%. Graphics that bad, really? Okay, playability 23%, addictive qualities 23%, overall rating 35%. So let's have a look at the game, shall we? And of course you'll get to see the loading screen. Oh, Christmas, the After Effects. And this does have sound, but only at the start and mainly effects during the game, as you can hear there. So let's have a look at the game, shall we? And put the AOR sound back on. Go for Kempston. 5. Let's see if it's as bad as they made out. 35% overall rating. Well, to be fair, the graphics at the moment don't look that bad. It's nice looking background. Of course, you have to physically stop yourself, otherwise you'll fly. You're being followed all the time by a jeep. I must have just got hit by a rocket. Sometimes that happens. Okay. And there's that jeep that belongs to you. You've got to take out various targets along the way, avoiding missiles, like that one for instance. Oh, that was close. Oh, turn back into it, didn't I? Oh. I'm just going to browse through it, I think. Let's give it another go. Unfortunately, you do start right at the start, so when you die, you have to start all over again. I hate that because I'm usually having to start all over again an awful lot. Suppose it makes the game more addictive. Go for it, Wayne. Go for it. Oh, straight into the bum. Not doing very well, but then you don't expect anything else from me. Go! I sort of use this building there once you're about that high up to align myself with the first 2 targets, and then you just gotta there we go. Oh, there's one down there. Oh, how the heavens am I going to get that one? So that's the game. Okay, well I thought that was a bit mean of Crash to give it such a low rating because quite frankly, yeah, come on, just get on with it. What does Retro Robbins make of that game? Presentation was 48%, yeah, I can give you about that, but graphically was better than 28%, no doubt about that. Playability, well, was low as well. I don't know why it was so low, because it is a playable game, although it's about as difficult as Flappy Birds. Addictive quality is 23%. Well, no, I've been trying to get past a certain level for quite a while, so I think it's higher than that as well. I think we know where we're going in with this. 35% as an overall rating was a little bit too low. Action Force 2 is an excellent game. Action Force 1 wasn't that bad, to be fair. So, without arguing we crashed too much, of course, I'm going to give that a 6.5 out of 10. Give it a go if you've not seen it before. Hopefully we'll remind you of games you may never have played before, or may have played but would like to play again. So, let's move on to the next game. And resetting the computer, which of course is the clone of the Spectrum Next, soon will be replaced with Next. This year, 2021 coming up, that's got to be the one. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, and apparently it is, plenty of updates, and they're giving you plenty of information. So, let's have a look at the next game. And we're going to go for... Ooh. Go Triangle Ball. I've never played this game before, so you're going to have to bear with me. I don't know if it'll even load on a 128K file. Ooh. Pause. Bleeper sound at the start. Well, that's interesting. What is it? Producer Mad Games, retail price $2.99, and of course, Crash gave this a presentation of 66%. Why is that any better than Action Force? I don't know. Graphics 50%, playability 50%, addictive quality is 50%, overall rating 51%. Interesting. One player controls and free designer, what's all on about? We'll go free player versus computer, and we'll push, what's that, 5 is it? 4 controls. Then we'll go Kempston, and we'll go 6 to start the game. I'm an expert. Oh, really? Oops, put an R. You can't delete, really? Yes, you can delete, but why isn't it not deleting? That's it. Forgot to spell my name, didn't I? Oh, I see what you're going to do. That must be where you're aiming, isn't it? So if I want to hit it back there, and you can put top spin and that on it. Let's have a look. Where's my device? There's a cue ball for the top spin. That's the power indicator there, and of course that's where you aim. So I don't know if you go put them in order, but oh yeah, can you adjust the power up and down? Well, the computer goes slightly better than mine, isn't it? They just blasted me. Okay, let's try it. Oh dear, didn't mean to do that. Computer still playing. Can I have a go? Put me on a real pool table, mate. Spectrum, we'll be having you. Right, let's give it a bit more power, eh? Lots of top spin, lots of power. Okay. Why? Oh, I see. Down's more power and up's less. 0 to F. I see. Okay, what do I make of that game? You know what, I'm just going to totally agree with Crash. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 rating. Let's move on to another game. It's not bad, is it? It's quite chunky graphics, isn't it, really? So, yeah. Moving on to the next game, we're going to go for... we're going to go for a classic. Professional Ski Simulator. This, I'm not sure, I haven't played. Oh, no, sorry, ATV Simulator. Oh, this Crash. What sort of review did Crash give this? So, ATV, you know where I said Professional Ski Simulator? I was actually looking at the review of that while I was trying to swap files. Oh well, this is what it is. By Codemasters, of course. Retail price is always a good price. Oh, forgot it had sound. So, author Tim Miller. Not really sure what happened to him. I'm sure he still does a bit of coding. I don't know. I'd like to know what happened to half of these coders from back in the day. So, Crash made this as a presentation 78%, graphics 69%, playability 65%, addictive quality 69%, overall rating 66%, really? For that? Okay, we can choose controls and we have some sound on. Oh, I forgot. That's it. I think you can define your keys. Yes, you definitely can. Okay, we've got the keys defined. I love it when we can redefine keys. Keep pressing enter instead of pressing space. Oh, you can have two-player game with this, of course. You can have bottom screen, top screen. And you're effectively got to make it through, I think it's 6 or 5 levels. Well, that jump's a bit high. And of course, there are certain points you can get stuck in this game. I'm surprised actually that this Veguin head's way too much, because I thought it was an absolutely brilliant game. Myself personally, I've really enjoyed this. One of my favourite games when I was younger. I used to like it because you could have 2 players. We could challenge your mates and, you know, could have little races together. Each trial got slightly harder. And there's a bouncing boom. You can get stuck on this game. It's an annoying habit to get stuck. And then you just have to wait for your time to go down. Oh, there you go. And if that happens, sometimes it's quite hard to get back on your bike. Especially when it's stuck in that position. You've got a various time limit to make it through. Told you I was good at it, didn't I? Okay, we don't want to keep playing that. What do we think of it? Well, I thought that was quite a low rating because this is, to me, a brilliant game. It does exactly what you need it to do, and I could play it forever, so it's addictive. If you've not played it, that's one for you to have a go at. Promise me you'd really enjoy it. Always use keyboard on this occasion because it's a lot more responsive than using joystick, unless you really hate using keys. And yeah, it's great. You can even play it again to try and beat your best times. If you write your times down, you can beat your best times. And so it's a game you can play all day if you wanted to. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. That's it. 9 out of 10. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game we're going to review today is, of course, called Outcast. It was by producer CRL. Retail price was £8.95, so not cheap at any means at 1987. So what did Crash make of this? Well, they gave it presentation 78%, the graphics was given 69%, Playability 60%, addictive quality 59%, overall rating was 62%. So let's have a look at the game. I'm going to use the tap file. Not sure if it'll work in the 1 to 8K mode. There's your loading screen. Right, we can choose to redefine, use Chemstone, or we'll go for 2 Chemstone. Yeah, I like that. Straight away, you see, once the bird is flapping there to show that you've selected that particular one. So let's brace to start the game. Oh, as you can see, there's not much sound in this either. Is it like a flying bear? Tell you what, it's not easy to control. Oh, that's a nasty floor. You couldn't see that there, could you? See the floor, there's like spikes on it or something. Oh, it's the map of where you want to be. It must be a teleportation thing. Yeah, it is. Oh, we don't want to be down there. Oh dear. Oh, spiky floor. Oh, quite enjoyed this. Don't know what it is I'm going to do. Oh, when you get down, you are. What are you working over? Is that a Yeti? It's like a Yeti, isn't it? Oh, more spiky floors. Can't walk anywhere there. What's that? No, I don't want to go that way. I'm not surprised you can go that way, so I'm going to work out what to do. Oh, looks like I've died. What do I think of it? Well, first gave it 62%, and I didn't think it was that good. Yeah, it's graphically good. It's quite good use of colours. There's plenty of colour clash in this, of course. Although you didn't get none there, to be fair. So where do you get colour clash? There, with the birds. Now, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. That's just my opinion, not yours. So let's move on to another game. Another re-review before we move on to the next feature of today's show, which of course is Commodore vs Spectrum, coming up after the next re-review. So the last game we're going to review today is called Supernova, and let's have a look at the game quickly, shall we? Of course, this won't work on a 1 to 8K file, so it has to be a 48K file. And what did Crash make of this? Well, I'll be honest with you, not very much. Producer was players, retail price $1.99. So let's have a look at the presentation, 65%. Graphics, of course, was 60%. Playability, 66%. Addictive quality, 64%. Overall rating, 65%. So there's your keyboard, which is QAOP&M. So we'll go for 1, shall we? And I found it quite hard to move. It's just some moves in little junky sections. Okay, we've got a radio or something. I don't know how to play this, but you know. See, he knows now. So I presume you've got to go through and you've got to find out what various tasks to do. I've played it a little bit. I didn't know what to do at the time. graphically it's okay, isn't it? Really, there's not much to it. I don't find it that addictive. So I'm going to give this I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 because I didn't really enjoy it. Sorry, that's only an opinion and it may not be yours. Top fact, of course, in this particular issue of Crash, that's the first review of a Dizzy game. Dizzy was reviewed in this game, and without spoiling it too much for you, it didn't get a Crash Smash. Unbelievable. It sort of launched a franchise, didn't it? Too. Also, Tarantor was reviewed as well. We can come back to this magazine on a later show, hopefully. In the meantime, let's move on to today's feature of the show, Commodore versus Spectrum. This is where we take the same game, review the Commodore version over the Spectrum version to see who has the best version. Coming up now. So the first game we're going to have a look at is a classic for the Spectrum, but is it as good for the Commodore? Dynamite Dan! And if you've not played this before, the idea is you collect 8 sticks of dynamite. Eventually you have to make it to the central safe, blow the doors on that, and of course then you get a little message saying congratulations and you've won a prize, which, if he was the first to complete it, was great. But to be honest, how anyone can complete this without infinite lives, I have no idea. So let's have a look what it's like compared to the Spectrum. Well, obviously you've got less colour clash than the Spectrum with the Commodore version, but effectively it looks a little bit the same. And there's your first stick of dynamite. You know, they are dotted about random across the places. See if we can teleport Tate to somewhere else. It's enlarged the screen a little bit. I didn't realise it got a bit small. There we go. You can see what's clearly happening there. Oh, maybe just too large. So let's have a look, see what we get in the way of... I'm not trying to avoid getting hit. Good thing is you don't die from falling too far. Oh, you do die from falling too far with this game. I stand corrected. Oh, look. There's no way I'm going to get to that. Let's have a look at the Spectrum version of the game. It's a bit dull on the sound there. It's a bit bleepy, isn't it? And of course, if you noticed, I've got a new monitor, which means I can now have more than one SCART lead in it, and it's also got S-Video module, so we can change quite comfortably. There was the loading screen. We can define the keys, which is what we like. Yeah, okay, I'll get that message. Do not use, do not use, do not use. And we'll have empty jump. Press fire to play. Well, I've got to be honest. It's bleeper sound. But my word, isn't it well done? Not AY saying that, it's bleeper. And already I think that sounds slightly better than the Commodore's SID chip version. There's just something about it. It's a little bit more vibrant in the colours. Obviously with this game you're going to get colour clash. Let's get into the game. I've just defined my keys and forgot what they was. Oh, I'm going to have to use these. We'll go the same way. Oh look, we've got a stick of dynamite. But we're not going to collect the dynamite. Let's have a look at what's going on. I like the brightness of the colours. Warning, don't play without infinite lives. Hopefully we're going to get to that before we die. Don't go lift. Oh, just made it. I wanted to get that power thing, but I can't. And of course you can get on that boat, but we won't do that, so... Which version do I prefer? And this is only a personal opinion. However, we've got to look back at the history. Commodore have twice gone ahead. Spectrum have not actually been ahead yet, but here comes my verdict. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just prefer the Spectrum version. It seems to be so much more vibrant, more energy in it, and glorious the amount of colours used. And it's got a little life of its own, but yeah, that's why I've gave it the Spectrum. It was a pretty hard choice because there's nothing really that separates them. The Commodore's obviously a little bit more colourful with the actual character, but it's effectively the same game, but it's just a little bit of sharpness about the Spectrum version that the Commodore doesn't seem to have. And even with its SID chip, the sound on this one is a little bit more oomph about it, but that's it. Well, that's the Retro Robbins Show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe if you haven't already done so and you enjoy this show. Ring the bell if you want to see more notifications of when my next show is on. Thank you for watching. In the meantime, for me, Wayne Retro Robbins, Happy New Year if you're going to watch this in the new year, and I hope you've had a nice Christmas, but it's bye for now. Thank you for watching.